Tyres are a hot topic when it comes to MGFs. That's for two reasons. Apparently they're very sensitive on what tyres they're on, and secondly, they no longer make the Goodyears that they were originally supplied with. Now, I bought this car and they had some pretty old tyres on, and I've since gone for Yokohamas. We'll get onto those in a minute. But the old tyres I had on were far from original. They were a mixture of Landvigators and Cooper tyres in varying states of wear. They were pretty terrible, cracked and worn different ways all around the car. Now, this is the ultimate situation where it would upset the handling of the MGF, right? Yes, it did feel a bit inconsistent at times. It wasn't terrible though, it didn't make it undrivable, but you did definitely feel like you wanted something more. Now, when it comes to buying new tyres, you do have kind of two routes to go down, because you either have early 15-inch wheels or the 16-inch wheels, which you can fit big brake kits under. Now, I'll put a list of good tyres to look at in the description. I won't go into them, because we'll just go into the Yokohama Advan V701s I bought for this car. So I think we'll just go for a little drive and I'll talk about in more detail what these new Yokohamas are like on the MGF. So before I go into detail, actually, I'm just going to show you a clip. Same road, old tyres versus new. So let's start with how the car feels, how it's different. Well, steering responses, there might be a slightly better feel there, but it's not massive. Ride and noise maybe, slightly improved. I think because the tyres were old, just having that slightly softer compound, fresher rubber, has improved that a little bit. But as anyone will know, it's wind noise that does the MGF in. Now, first of all then, grip. Much greater amounts of grip. On the road, you don't really need to worry about it at all. The front end is so pinned now. The little extra thing I should mention is I went up 10mm width at the front, so instead of 195, I'm now 205. The rears are 215 if I recall correctly. So on the road, you're not going to be wanting much more grip at all. On the track, they're pinned down as well. They take a bit of time to warm up, but once they do start to let go, well, you can hear them, and it is a bit progressive. You get a bit of a sense that they're about to let go, so they're reasonably communicative in that sense. The fun thing is though, after a good track session, is that they're actually visibly sticky. And you can like put your hand on it and you're like, oh wow, that's where all my traction's coming from. And maybe that's something compared to your kind of normal line of tyres where the Advan series is a bit more focused. Now in the wet and in the winter, they do perform well as long as they've got heat in them. You can't take too many liberties in the cold and wet without going through the warm-up procedure. But that's still fine on the road. Overall, I'm a big fan of the Yokohamas. I think they're a really nice tyre and somewhat underrated. So in conclusion, yeah, I'm glad that I've gone for the Yokohama Advan V701s. Have I mentioned that name enough? I'm not being sponsored, I promise. They're a really interesting tyre because they've got reinforced sidewalls, so they're appropriate for a mid-engine car. They are designed for that. There are other tyres on the market that are similar in construction. Tread patterns are slightly less aggressive, or yeah, well, slightly different maybe. So have a look at those as well. It possibly is down to a personal choice whether you want an all-weather thing, which is maybe a Bridgestone's, or if you want something a bit more focused, which is the Yokohamas. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what an MGF is like with crappy tyres and what an MGF can be like with good ones. So whatever you choose, yeah, hope that all helps. Until next time, thanks a lot for watching.